Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial of MySQL 8 database administration. Actually uh, I wanted to do a tutorial about transaction and isolation model. So in order to do that, we have to understand first what is transaction. And so transaction are atomic units of work that can be committed or rolled back. When a transaction makes multiple changes to the database, either all the changes succeeded when the transaction is committed, or all the changes are undone or removed or set back to the old values, to the old state when the transaction is rolled back. So the transaction and this every transaction should also like satisfy this asset model, which is atomicity, consistency, isolations, and durability. I have already described these asset models in my few back lectures during the architecture, but still in this tutorial I will also describe all these things, and I will make sure that you get an idea what I'm talking about these models. Okay, so transactions, you can start the transaction using the start transaction or begin, and this is how you can start a transaction. So in between these two things, between the start transaction and later on, either you can commit it, either you can roll back. So between the start transaction or begin and this rollback and commit, you can do multiple transaction whatever you want to do. So that's called running multiple statements inside the transaction code block. So it's called a single transaction. So okay, let's start. Let me show you how you can do a transaction. So for that, we have here MySQL, and let's say I want to start a transaction. Okay, so this is how I should start my transaction. And now I will do some code here. I will execute some statements. Let's say I have executed this statement here. Okay, sorry for that. I need to start let's say rollback, because we haven't used bank. I have a database bank. Let me do some system clear. Okay, let's start a transaction and let's do an update here. I have done some updates here, and let me show you what I have done. Let us investigate from this guy. This is account, and okay, so what I have done is I have changed the value of this account number to 700 by minusing 100 numbers from opening balance. Okay, so now either here I can commit or roll back. If still you will say that could have done that by doing simple executing this command without a transaction, but here I want to do run another statement. But now what I am doing here is I am not executing a commit after every statement, but after 2 or 3 statements. Now either I will go for commit, or to make the thing consistent over all the database. So either now I have committed, so now my transaction ends. Either I could have rollback here as well. So this is how you can do a transaction in MySQL. Okay, so next thing we have is Autocommit. So if let me show you what is my value here now. So they are 700 and 700. Next thing we have is Autocommit. So the Autocommit is by default it's on, so which means that all the individual statements that are committed as soon as they are executed, unless they are in begin and commits block. So if Autocommit is off, you need to explicitly issue a commit statement to commit a transaction. So if you want to set your Autocommit is equal to 0, then you have to explicitly like fire the commit. Okay, so then we have some DDL commands like create and drop for a database, or create and drop or alter for a table, and store routines, and which have your procedure and functions. They cannot be rolled back, so this rollback doesn't work for those features or for those functions we have. Okay, So what we were talking about is, let's say, let me update this record another time. And if you see here, I haven't executed the commit, and let's say I want to exit, and let me come back and use bank and select steering from account. If you see here, it was 700, then we updated this. Okay, we didn't file the commit, then we checked if the changes has, then it's 700 has become 600. Okay, then I exited my session, then I logged in again, and if you see here, the Autocommit has worked, Autocommit has done his job, and Autocommit yeah. Okay, edit. So it's 1, so the Autocommit has done his job and it's already been committed. So that means this is how you can do the Autocommit. So either you can do it at session level or at global level. So once you do like this, set Autocommit is equal to 0, this is session level, and then you can do the Autocommit is equal to 0 at your global level. So this is how the Autocommit helps you to, like, this is how Autocommit work. If you want to use it, you can use it in your transaction in between, or you in the start of transaction. What you do is you unset the Autocommit, and after doing the commit, you can set the Autocommit is equal to 1 as well, or you can leave it just like that, because it will be only it will only work between the transaction. So next we have saving points, save points. So using save points, you can roll back to certain points in the transaction without terminating the whole transaction. So just like if you have done some few transaction you have run same few statements, like 5 or 4 statements, and then the 6th one didn't get the result which you wanted. So now here you don't want to like terminate the whole transaction. So what you do is you create some save points for yourself, and then you can roll back to those save points. So let me show you how we can use the save points. So okay, let's see, system clear. Let me clear the screen here. Okay, let's start a transaction. Start transaction. Okay, I have some spelling mistakes. The problem is my keyboard is new, and actually mostly I type on my laptop, and this is the PC. So you know there is always a difference between the keyboard of the laptop and the this PC. Okay, so let's start a transaction. I have started a transaction here, and let me do some things here as well. What I'm doing is I'm executing 2 queries of, again, use bank, okay, and do these queries. Okay, so select static from count. So now if you see here, I have done a 600 and 500, so did some changes here. Now let's create a save point here. Save point, let's say go back. So I have created this save point here, and here what I am going to do is, let's say, execute another statement. And if you see here, I don't have this account number. This is because we only have 2 accounts, and between these two statements did some changes, changed one row, but this one didn't change anything. So this means this is not the desired result which I wanted, or I might have run into some error. It might be some column were not there. So the point is, the result is not as per what I wanted. I thought this account should be there, but it's not there. So here I don't want to roll back these 2 statements, these 2. So what I will do is I will say roll back to go back save point, roll back to save point. Okay, so now I have rolled back to that save point. So then I can go for commit, and my what do you say, my transaction has been over, and now we know that how save points, how auto commit, and how a transaction works. So that was about the transaction, and at the end I told you that I will tell you what are the asset models. So the first one we have is this Atomicity. So it means that either all the SQL should be successful or should fail. So there should not be any partial updates. If this property is not obeyed, and if the database crashes after running two SQLs, then then a query which is executed, it will lose the data. So this should be the database, any database should comply this or satisfy this Atomicity. So the same thing is with the consistency. A transaction must change affect data only is in the allowed ways. Just like say, like if in this account, in this query, which means that once this account was not available, so it didn't change anything. So this is how the consistency should work. So it should only do the changes in the allowed ways. So if this column is not available, this row is value is not available, so it should not change anything. So that's is called consistency. And so every, like, the DB must be in a valid after the transaction, and all constraint must be satisfied. So next we have is isolation. So transaction that occur at the same time, like concurrent transaction, should not lead the database to an inconsistent state, which means, so like each of the transactions should be executed as if there were it was the only as if it was the only transaction in the system. So no transaction should affect the existence of another transaction. So this is how isolation should be. Like if I am in this example, let's say if I am in one statement, I am changing this account number, and another transaction I am changing this account number, so they both should be isolated from each other and they should not affect each other. Okay, so this is how isolation should work. Then we have some few isolation modes. We will look into that in the next video, because I will briefly describe how each and every isolation level we can achieve. So the next is durability. The data should be persistent on the disk and should not be lost despite of any database or system failure. So this is how durability work. It's mostly related like to the components of your MySQL database and the components of the hardware. So whatever the components of MySQL server does, and the components of the hardware should react as per the actions of your MySQL components. So they should work with each other so that the whole system is durable, and it should work fine. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video for the today's session, and it's done for today. In the next session, I will be describing the isolation levels and different phenomena which should satisfy the isolation model. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. Please like, subscribe and share, and please comment whatever you want me to cover in the upcoming lectures. Thank you so much.